in. Hands come onto the hips. Tailbone points down to the ground. And inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. As we exhale, we're going to cactus shape the arms. And just pause here for a moment, feeling your elbows draw back in space behind you. Feel a little lift in your underbelly there, and then tilt your heart towards the sky. And on your next in-breath, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, again, cactus shape. A little tiny, like, upper back bend, just the upper back. And one more time, inhaling. Widen the fingers as you open into your cactus shape. Good. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale as you hinge halfway. And just pause here. So torso is going to be parallel to the earth. Fingertips are reaching back quite a lot until you feel a stretch at the upper traps. And the crown is reaching straight forward in space. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, open the arms out to the sides, cactus shape. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale and hinge halfway. Body fold to expel the out breath. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, cactus shape. One more time like that, inhaling. Exhale as you hinge. And inhale, rising up. And then from here, Parigasana, you're going to take your right foot off to the right. The heel's going to be in line with the knee. Lift up more brightly through your left fingertips. And as you exhale, hinge over to the right. So that tiny little bend in the elbow, you're going to roll your left heart open towards the sky. And as you exhale, just pulse the elbow a little bit to the front plane of the body, looking down. Inhale, open heart, look up. And exhale, little baby twist as you look down to the ground. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, looking down, chin drops to the chest. Inhale, open the heart, and as you exhale, sweep out long through your left fingertips. Unshrug the shoulders, and if it feels nice to look down to the ground, look down to the ground. We're breathing here for 2. Bump your hips gently over to the left. Rising up on the in-breath. Place your left hand in line with the left knee and sweep your top arm up to the sky. You can keep the back foot down or you can lift it to the height of the hip as you like. You can stay here or you can bend the back knee and reach back with the top hand for the top of the foot. It may or may not touch, but see if you can, instead of spilling the belly forward in space, zip the underbelly in and up and then press the leg back in space if you have that. Tilt the heart forward and press your head back towards the space behind you for 2. And 1. Good. Inhale to re-lengthen back leg and top arm up to the sky. Let's see if we can just take the right hand down to the ground and then stay with me. You're going to walk your hands forward, forward, forward. I don't know if you're facing the front or side of your mat here, but inhale and glide the right heel straight back behind you. So you're like in this position, lift the heel up, and exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, glide it back. And exhale, place the heel just to the inside of the right thumb, coming into your knee down lunge. And you can draw the back knee back a little bit so that the pelvis can sink nice and low. And then inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, cactus shape the arms. 2 more, nice and slow. Inhaling. Exhaling. From the belly down through the tailbone. Inhaling. And from the heart to the top of the head. Extend. Exhaling. Good, inhaling here. And as you exhale, take your left hand off to the left side and wiggle your right foot off to the right. Lift and spread the toes. Turn the knee out to the right. And again, sink your pelvis low down to the ground. If you need to wiggle your back knee back to do that, then wiggle your back knee back. Okay? Hug your belly in towards the back body so you're not dumping into the kidney space. And then rotate your rib cage and your heart towards your right knee and shrugging the shoulders. Maybe you take the top arm up to the sky, or maybe some of you take the hand to the base of the skull and press the head back and open from the center of the heart out through the right armpit out through the right elbow tip or fingertips for 2. Little cobra shape in your heart for 1. Good. And go ahead and release that hand down towards the ground. And stepping back into an all fours position, hands and knees. Big toes together, knees open wide, and inhale, open the heart for like a cow pose. And exhale as you round the spine, tapping your butt back towards your heels. Again, inhaling, opening the heart. And exhaling as you round. And then one more time, inhaling. And exhale as you round. Inhale, rising up. From your all fours position, Parigasana, second side. I'm not sure what direction you want to be facing, but it's kind of like this 360 thing we have going on right now, so we'll roll with that. Left leg out to the side, your arch in line with your knee. Inhale, right arm to the sky. And as you exhale, shift your hips over to the right as you lean your torso over to the left. A little bend in that top elbow so we have a bit more mobility. And inhale, just really gently tip your heart to the sky. And as you exhale, tilt it forward, top shoulder comes forward and we look down. Just a little action, but you feel what you feel. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, take it down. One more full round, a little bit slower with your own breath. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, lengthen out through the fingertips, upper arm alongside the ear. Make your jaw nice and soft. And breathe a bit more space into the left side body from the hip to the armpit for one more breath. And inhale as you rise up, taking your right hand down in line with your right knee. And you can keep the left foot down behind you, or you can lift it, heel in line with the hip. You can stay here, or you can bend the knee behind you, so the foot will be behind you. Maybe top arm to the sky, maybe it reaches back. Maybe someday the hand finds the foot, or maybe that never happens. It doesn't matter. Again, notice the tendency for the belly to just soften and spill forward in space, and tone the belly, ask it to come on board to provide some stability for your entire pose. And then if you have the foot behind you, kick the foot back and feel the base of the sternum swiveling forward, and then you'll kind of curl the sides of the throat back in space. Whatever your pose is, it's perfect. You take one more breath. Good. And inhale to lengthen arm and leg. As you exhale, you're going to take the left hand down and walk the hands forward so that heel is going to swivel back behind you. So from here, inhale, lift the heel, open the heart. And as you exhale, slow curl knee in towards the chest. Inhale, glide it back. And exhale, place the heel just to the inside of the thumb. Squiggle the back knee back if that's appropriate for you. And then sweep your arms up towards the sky. So again, use your exhale breath to feel rooted through your tail, through the feet, heavy and solid in your base. And use your in-breath to lift and open the heart. This is our in-breath position. And exhale, open the heart, cactus shape. Inhale, float fingertips up. Exhale, wide open heart. Once more, your own breath. And inhale it up. Exhale, take the hands down, right hand off to the right side. Wiggle your left foot off to the left. Lift and spread the toes as you open the knee out to the left. Again, get the belly on board, so navel draws to the back body and it stays there even as you begin to twist and open your heart a little bit. This left hand can stay here. It can swim up to the sky. It could perhaps find a home at the base of your skull. Use your exhale breath to still feel heavy and anchored, pelvis down. And the in-breath to twist the rib cage open to the sky. 2 breaths more, drink it up. And slowly letting that go. Placing the hands, you're gonna step back into a knee down plank. And as you exhale, lower the body down. Inhale, lift your heart into a Sphinx pose. So what Sphinx pose usually ends up, if you go to the default, is that the elbows will come out to the sides. And so just check it out and see. Can you put your elbows right beneath your shoulders and keep the forearms parallel to each other? Roll your inner right thigh up towards the sky, and then roll your inner left thigh up towards the sky. If that didn't happen, then who cares? So fingertips claw at the earth like a cat, and then you're gonna lift up through the top of the head, inhale. And as you exhale, you're gonna drop the chin down towards the chest. Just that much again. Inhale, heart lifting, drag your elbows back. And exhale, bow the head to the heart. And one more time, inhaling. And exhale, take it down. This time we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to look over the left shoulder. Widen your right shoulder to the right, even just an imaginary amount. Gazing over the left shoulder, even with your eyes turning to the left sides of the sockets. Point your tailbone back in space. One more breath. And then inhaling, coming back to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Widen your left shoulder tip, the acromion process out to the left. And as the hands press down, continue to lift brightly through the crown. Eyes turn to the right sides of their sockets for one more. Good, and inhale, come back to center. Releasing down, make a pillow with your hands, and you can rest one cheek, bending the knees. Take the knees a little bit wider than the hips and windshield wipe the legs lazily from side to side. Getting the low back to release into an easy twist. And then coming back to center. Lengthen the legs behind you, rise up through an all fours, and then you're going to grab your blocks or your books or whatever you want to use. And we're going to come into supported bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. So you're gonna lie down on your back, and take your heels in close to your bum. I like to snuggle the shoulder blades together all the time. And then go ahead and lift your hips and stack your blocks underneath your bum. You do want it to be pretty stable, so take a moment to actually make sure that your blocks are stacked nicely and in the proper spot, right? You want them on the sacrum, which is that flat triangular bone at the base of the spine, kind of like upper butt, lower back, okay? And then rest your hips on that. A little finagling might be required. Yeah, okay. And then let's press the elbows down, lift the chest, and again, snuggle the shoulder blades towards each other, and then let the palms face up at the sides. Breathe into that wide open space across your heart. On the in-breath, it rises kind of in the shape of a mushroom from the low belly all the way up to the heart, and then it fans wide across the chest. And just watch the breath reverse direction as you keep the heart open. 2 breaths just like this. Good. From here, lengthen your right heel forward onto the ground. Lengthen your right heel forward onto the ground. Heel in line with the hip. Toes pulling back towards your face. Pretty strong through that right leg. And then maybe some of us backstroke the right arm up overhead if that feels nice. Breathing into the long arc on the right side of the body. You feel the breath as it passes over heart center on in-breath and out-breath. Releasing the arm and releasing the sole of the foot back down to the ground. Left side, extending your left heel forward and onto the ground, heel in line with the hip. Toes pulling back towards the face. Sweeping your left arm up overhead. For some of you, this might be intense, and for some of you, it might be subtle, but for everyone, it's good, right? Because the shape of the hip is normally in flexion when we're sitting. And in this position, we get to do the opposite and let the psoas, especially the psoas, gets a good lengthening here, as well as the rectus femoris, one of your quads. Anyway, deep breath into the whole left side body. And then go ahead and place the sole of the left foot down onto the ground. Arms alongside the body, palms facing down. If you're stable on your blocks, then bend the knees in, not really necessarily even towards your chest, but just so that the knees hover over the hips. And then can you keep the tailbone pointing forward in front of you and the low belly kind of compressed in? Like try to squeeze the knees together, feel the inner thighs working, and then feel the low belly, the deep tone in there for one more. It's good to practice being upside down every now and again. And placing the soles of the feet down onto the ground. Press your feet down, lift your hips up, and scoot your blocks out. And then float your hips down towards the ground, and then just pause and let the hips settle slowly, breath by breath, deep into the ground. God, what you scared the shit out of me. I forgot he was here. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. One hand over the heart and one hand over the belly. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Okay. Sweep the arms up over the head. Lift and spread the toes. I thought there was like a bird flying by my head or something. Exhale, drop both knees over to the right. Pause there as you swivel the rib cage over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, drop the knees over to the opposite side. Arms up overhead, rib cage swivels to the right. And then inhaling, coming back to center, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and or taking happy baby, soles of the feet to the sky. So level 1, you're going to start preparing for corpse pose. Level 2, you're going to play with just knees into the chest and happy baby. I'm going to read this sutra for you guys again. Okay, so if you're level 1, Shavasana, start getting there. The one who is at play everywhere says, there is a space in the heart where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. Mind, senses, soul, eternity, all are here. Are you here? Enter the bowl of vastness that is the heart. Listen to the song that is always resonating. Give yourself to it with total abandon. Quiet ecstasy is here, and a steady, regal sense of resting in a perfect spot. Level 1, that's your cue. You can close the app and set a timer to rest in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Ciao bellas, ciao bellos. Okay, and then the level 2s, you're gonna roll over onto one side and climb your way up into a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, so let's just do a couple of vinyasas. Inhale, ripple forward into a high plank. Exhale, lower down just halfway. Inhale, lift the heart for upward facing. And exhale into downward facing dog. In through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down just halfway. Inhale, strong legs press down. We're going to hold in our Urdhva Mukha for just a moment. Exhale as you twist over to the right, toenails push down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhaling into downward facing dog. So bend the knees here, you guys, and press your heart back towards the thighs, lifting your hips up towards the sky. We're here for 2 breaths, really lengthening, like tractioning into the lower spine. For 1 more breath. Good. At the end of your exhale, look to the hands and separate hop the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhaling, lifting halfway. And exhale to forward fold. Utkatasana, sinking into the knees and reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. And then just see if you can spill the belly forward and down and stick your butt out. And notice how you lose integrity in the pose when you do that. So you guessed it, stop doing that. Draw the belly in and up and point the tailbone down. And you're going to sink your butt down just a little bit more. Good. Come up onto your tippy toes. Eyes stay fixed on one spot. Good, and then lower all the way down so you're sitting on your heels, and take your fingertips up to the sky. If this feels easy, you're going to join the palms together. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Good, and then from here, let's just play with side curl. So the hands are going to come over to the right and down onto the ground. The left hand in particular, you're going to reach out long, so lift the belly, shift it over to the right, and then hook the upper arm across the knee. Okay? And then you're just going to lift the hips and line up the belly button right over the midpoint of the thumbs. And if this is where you stay, good job. That's enough, right? If you want to take it a little bit further, squeeze the knees together, lift just one foot, and then maybe the other foot lifts. Maybe it just lifts and lowers. If it's easier for you to take the free hip down onto the free elbow, go ahead. Some of you might be able to open the legs to fly. For 2. And 1. Good, come on back to center. Back to chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hinge halfway. Inhale, rising up. Open mouth, exhale, and hinge. One more, inhaling. Open mouth, exhale, hinge. Good, rising up. Come on to your tippy toes. As you exhale, lower just halfway down, hovering the bum above the heels, squeezing the knees together joyfully. And on your next exhale, go ahead and float the hips down to the heels. So you're going to reach your left arm pretty far out to the left, seal the inner knees together, and take the right arm. As you reach it across, lift the underbelly in and up and shift the underbelly over to your left. And then hook the right elbow over the left knee. Place the palms like you're doing plank pose. Lift the hips, seal the inner knees together, and line up the navel right over the midpoint of the thumbs. You can stay here. Gazing slightly forward, you can lift the top foot, maybe the bottom foot just for a hot second. 2 points of contact, maybe hip finds elbow. Maybe you open the legs to fly. Breathing, breathing for 2. Good, and then slowly come on back to center. Center, center, and chair pose, inhale. Open mouth, exhale as you hinge. Inhale, rising up. Open mouth, exhale, hinge. One more time. And hinge. Good, this time we rise. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Place the hands, and on your next in-breath, step back into a plank. Exhale and lower the body all the way down to the ground. Bending the knees and reaching back for the tops of the feet. So if your low back bothers you, you might just come into Sphinx pose instead. Otherwise, Dhanurasana bow pose. So if you can flex the feet and inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, lower everything down. We're going to do 5 of those. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. What was that, 3 or 4? Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Last one, inhaling. And you're going to pause here, shining the heart forward. Letting the gaze be soft over the tip of the nose. And relaxing your cheeks and jaw for one more breath. Good. Releasing into locust pose. So you're going to keep the feet lifting behind you and the hands lifting behind you too. Heart forward. One more breath. Good. And exhale. Place the hands rising up through all 4s into a puppy dog. And if your low back is asking for a child's pose balasana, take it. Otherwise, downward facing dog. Level the breath for 3. For 2. One. Good. Okay, so come on up to me in downward facing dog. And I just want to do little like kind of half handstand hops, which I honestly can't demonstrate very well. But you're just going to see if you can bend the knees and hop up into like a plank, like an L shape or a pike. Okay, lining up your hips over the wrists. Take a moment to get grounded, and it's the end of the exhale where you lift up. Okay? Try 5 or 10. So as you're exhaling, you bend the knees. At the end of the exhale, you hop up. And just see if you can get some hover time or at least land gracefully. We'll do one more. Good. And then let's walk the hands back into a standing forward fold at the back of your mat. Place your pinky fingers into opposite elbow, but switch the interlace so that your opposite forearm is in front. Let the beat of the heart and the rhythm of your breath begin to slow as you just watch those processes. Good. And then you're going to walk the hands forward back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right heel up and back behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and roll the hip open, swiveling onto the left heel. Can you lift onto your right fingertips and maybe lift your right hand and get a little hover time before, if you take the back foot down, before you take the back foot down into your wild thing. Opening your heart towards the sky, stretching long through your right fingertips for one more breath. Good. And then your right hand comes down, your right heel lifts up. And exhale, Adho Mukha. Cleansing breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, glide your left heel up and back behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and roll the hip open. Swivel onto the right heel, right pinky toe edge, and then take your left hand and tense onto the fingertips, some of us lifting the left hand as well. Get a breath or two of hover time before you flip your dog, if you flip your dog. And then the left knee stays bent, right leg is straight, heart shines forward through the fingertips for one more breath. Taking the left hand down towards the ground, left heel to the sky, inhale. And then as you exhale, line up the left knee right behind your left wrist for an upright pigeon pose. So upright pigeon pose, we're going to move closer towards a back bend, and you're going to take this front heel in towards you just a little bit more, okay? And then bend the back knee. And see if you can reach for the top of the foot with the right hand, turning your heart towards the front of your mat. You can stay here. Okay, more practiced yogis, you could take the fingertips to the sky, take your bind, take your mermaid pose, whatever feels nice for you. Everyone work to zip the underbelly, and from the underbelly float the heart. One more breath. Go ahead and release that. Can't not do a pigeon pose here, right? So take the front shin bone more towards parallel at the top of your mat. Puff your heart to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward halfway and pause, lengthening your heart over the front leg. Find a little bit of surrender and peace as you bow in. We're here for just one more. Okay, if you need to stay, you can stay, but when you're ready, rise up. Lift and open your left knee to the sky from dog pose or all fours. And then switching sides, extend your right heel back behind you and take your right knee behind your right wrist, outer shin to the top of the mat. So again, it's like a sharper angle there at the knee, so the heel is going to come in a little bit closer towards the pelvis. Lift and open the heart. So instead of the hips being down on the ground for the upright pigeon, it's lifted. And then you're going to bend the back knee and reach back with your left hand. If the hand and the foot don't find each other, it doesn't matter at all. You're turning the heart towards the front of the mat, fanning wide through the toes, pulling the heel in any amount, finding a dignified space across your throat, center of communication. And deeper levels available for some of you, right? Try not to turn your belly to the left, turn it straight forward for one more breath. Good. Releasing the back leg, taking your front shin bone more towards parallel at the top of your mat. Open wide through the heart. Come forward just halfway, right? So when you come forward halfway, check it in with what's happening from like the mid belly all the way down to your pubis, and don't let that area crunch. So from your pubic bone up through the navel, extend forward, and then from the navel all the way up to the sternum even to the throat, extend into your pigeon pose, and then chill. Just let that deeper breath flow through you. One more easy breath. Good, and then go ahead and rise up. Take the right knee towards the sky on an in-breath, and exhale, take it down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana, diamond shape the legs. I'm walking my sits bones closer towards my heels. You can too, if that feels nice. Inhale, float your heart to the sky. And exhale, hinge forward any amount. Again, the gaze returns inward. We acknowledge that this is difficult for us in whatever way, and cultivate compassion for whatever difficulty we're facing. We can find a little bit more compassion for those around us. You might be feeling frustrated with people not handling the situation as well as they could be. But the fact of the matter is that we're all in a really difficult situation with limited information, and everyone's doing the best that they can. Can you pay attention to the fullness of this breath that you're breathing right now? Just this breath. And inhale as you rise up. You can keep the diamond shape of the legs and lie down on your back, taking your right hand over your heart and your left hand over the low belly. So let the breath fill you from the basin of the belly all the way up to the center of the heart and then wide across the armpits. And you just sense a softening into on your exhale. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be well. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be happy. The divine in me honors and salutes the divine in you and in all things. Namaste. Love you guys.